When I am dead, bury me in my beloved Ukraine, my tomb upon a grave mound high, amid the spreading plain.
No turning back because destroyed houses.
They went wild. They started to shell residential quarters. Just everyone had tears. Because it was terrible.
Oh, bury me, then rise ye up, and break your heavy chains, and water with the tyrant's blood the freedom you have gained.
There were fierce battles in the suburbs of Derghachi. Very fierce. The occupiers were not allowed into the city. But about a week after the war began, Russian troops took up positions in Ruska Lozova. They went wild. They started shelling residential areas, killing people. In particular, the House of Culture is standing behind us. It was our humanitarian center, the first one. And there were no military personnel based here, no equipment. It was a place where humanitarian aid was distributed. That is, a logistics center where it was unloaded and loaded onto other vehicles. And on the night of May 12 to 13, 2022, the Russians insidiously destroyed it with an Iskander. Before the war, we had the Derhachi House of Culture here. Many adults and children that were brought here always went to the library, read Ukrainian books, practiced Ukrainian choreography, danced. Their souls blossomed. They participated in theater groups. And these were classic works of our writers. Kaidasheva Simya and Smatanya na Honcharivka were staged here. The children were happy to come to the House of Culture, and when they returned home inspired. They were pleased that our Dergachi community had such a cool message about cultural life. When we saw that the enemy had hit our heart, the heart of Derghachi, we all burst into crying. Tears, because it was terrible. Everything we had done over the years, all the cultural values, all of it was destroyed.
Before the war, 2,100 people lived in Prudyanka. There was a club, a library, a post office, a school, a kindergarten, and a family doctor's outpatient clinic. The representatives of cultural institutions always participated in various events. Various events were held on the territory of our village. We used to celebrate holidays, Maslenitsa, Ivan Kupala Night, Village Day, Victory Day. It was a very friendly and good community. Prudyanka is destroyed now. The village is 95% destroyed. The houses are broken. Everyone had to leave Prudyanka. Only 12 people remained during the fighting. We survived. Now people are gradually returning. More would return, but there is no electricity or gas in Prudyanka. There is nowhere to go back to because the houses were destroyed. Now about 220 to 230 people have come here. They have returned.
Here was the stage. All the performances were held here. The filming. There were always cool events. We were waiting for spring to come. And it came. Hellish, painful one. It was a rocket. The club was on fire. We came back a week later and it was still smoking. It was so painful.
The village of Supivka was occupied on March 7, 2022. When Supivka was occupied, a checkpoint was set up at the crossing there. It became impossible to bring humanitarian aid there. I took a driver from Prudyanka and went to the checkpoint at the Supivka crossing to ask the orcs to allow us to do the following. We would move with the humanitarian cargo and transfer the cargo at the checkpoint. That is, we would load it onto trucks to distribute it to people. But they did not allow it. They said, no. There was also a basement in the village of Supivka. A torture chamber on the territory of the school. They took people to this basement.
And when the community was liberated on September 11, when Kazachalopan was liberated, those torture chambers were found, and this horror doubled, tripled, and increased tenfold, because hundreds of people went through this main torture chamber in Kazachalopan. There was a torture chamber in the premises of a former vegetable depot. They welded a net and kept people there. There was a room about 5 by 5 meters in this grid. They could keep 30 people there. They blindfolded them, tied them up. They could tie their legs to their arms or to this grid with tape. And they tortured them. They forced them to sing the Soviet Union anthem. Those who did not know it were beaten. They beat them with sticks. They beat them there for no reason. They tortured them with electricity. They poured water on them so that the current would flow better. Men were forced to have polyurethane foam in their anus. Women were raped in groups. They put needles under their fingernails. They did very horrible things.
Thus, the residents of the Derghachi community, who had built a real paradise on their land before the invasion of the Russian occupiers, found themselves in a terrible Russian hell.
and in the great new family, the family of the free. With softly spoken, kindly word, remember also me.